Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into the nuts and bolts of everyday English communication.
Yeah, we've got these transcripts from English learning YouTube channels, and we're going to pull out the good stuff.
Exactly. Our mission really is to find those practical bits, the nuances that help you express yourself more naturally, how to give your voice real weight in conversations, maybe more than just a few minutes.
Right. It's about moving past just knowing words. It's understanding the flow, the feeling behind them, getting confident in how you sound.
Okay, so let's dive in. First up, expressing thoughts and ideas. It's not always just, I think, is it?
Not at all. There's a whole range. You've got the really casual, like, I have an idea. Simple, straightforward.
Yeah, anyone can just tough that out. But then something like, I've been thinking, that feels different, doesn't it? It sounds like you've actually, well, been thinking.
It does. That present perfect, I have been thinking, it connects the past thought process right to this moment.
Yeah.
Gives it a bit more substance.
Like it's not just off the cuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even softer. Here's a thought. Just gently putting something out there.
And asking for opinions. What do you think? Or like you hear often kind of slurred together, what do you think?
Very natural. Then you get more assertive. You want to know what I think. It's like, okay, brace yourself. Here comes my opinion.
Huh? Yeah, or even bolder, you know what I think? Sets a definite tone.
It really does. And if you really want to stress the effort, I've thought about this a lot.
That tells everyone, okay, this person's really considered this. It's not a fleeting thought.
Gives your point more weight, definitely. Now, the opposite side is interesting, too, when you don't have the answers.
Ah, right. The difference between I have no idea and I have no ideas. Tricky one for learners sometimes.
It is. I have no idea. Singular idea means you lack information, like, where are my keys? I have no idea.
Got it. Missing info.
But I have no ideas. Plural ideas. That's about suggestions. What should we do tonight? I have no ideas. You're drawing a blank on proposals.
That plural makes all the difference. And the classic fallback.
I don't know. Simple. Universal. Contraction of I do not know, obviously. Use it anytime you're unsure or lack info.
Can't go wrong with that one. And then that satisfying moment when you were right all along.
I knew it! Yeah, that's a great one. It can be playful, like, aha,
Yeah.
I knew it, or more serious confirmation. Tone is everything there. It subtly says you were clued in.
It's like validation. So you can see how all these little variations let you be much more precise about what's going on in your head. Helps you really contribute, get your voice heard properly.
Absolutely. Knowing these helps you navigate conversations better, make your points clearer, have more impact. It ensures people actually understand your perspective.
Okay, let's switch gears. Injuries. Something we unfortunately all deal with sometimes. It's more than just saying ouch.
Yeah, and English gets surprisingly specific here. It's not just I'm hurt. Think about bones. You can break a bone or fracture it.
Is there a real difference? I feel like people use them interchangeably.
They often do in casual chat, yeah. But technically, a fracture is any crack or break. Break can sometimes imply it's, snapped more completely. But it's subtle.
Okay, and sprains. That's not bones, right?
Right, sprains are about ligaments. Those are the tough bands connecting bone to bone. You sprain something like an ankle when you twist it too far, damaging those ligaments.
Gotcha. Ligaments. And a bruise. That's from getting hit.
Exactly. Blunt impact damages tiny blood vessels under the skin, hence the lovely black and blue marks.
Fun times. And a cut.
That needs something sharp. Slices the skin, could be a knife, could be paper, causes bleeding usually.
Okay. Then there's wound. That sounds kind of general.
It is. A wound is just any injury spot. But you might hear open wound, meaning it's fresh, maybe tissues exposed. A closed wound might have scabbed over or be healing.
And injure versus hurt. They seem close.
They are very close. Hurt is probably more common for general aches, pains, minor stuff. Injure can sound a bit more formal, maybe imply something more serious like a sports injury or in an accident report.
Okay, that makes sense. Muscle stuff now. You can pull a muscle or tear one. Sounds like tear is worse.
Oh, definitely. A pulled muscle is overstretched. It hurts, it's stiff, but it's usually less severe. A torn muscle means the actual muscle fibers have ripped. Much more painful, longer recovery.
Yeah.
Notice the past tenses, too. You sprained your ankle, you tore a muscle, you pulled a hamstring.
Right, those irregular verbs.
Right.
And lastly, dislocate.
That's when a bone pops out of its joint, like a shoulder or finger gets knocked out of place. Ouch.
Double ouch. So knowing these specific words really helps you describe what's wrong accurately. if you need medical help, or even just sympathy. Being precise matters.
Totally. Think about it. How much clearer could you be if you needed to explain an injury? Using the right word gives people a much better picture.
Okay, from physical feelings to social ones. Receiving things like gifts. How we handle that says a lot.
It really does. English has some nice ways to show politeness and appreciation here. The most basic is just, I got, past tense of I got a book. Super casual.
Simple. And the more formal version.
I received. Sounds a bit more official. I received an award. You probably wouldn't say, I got an award in a formal speech.
Good point. What about mentioning the giver?
You can use the possessive. My sister gave me this. Puts the focus on the person.
And the absolute essentials.
Thank you so much. Can't skip that. And the response? You're welcome. Or, more casually, no problem, no biggie, standard politeness.
Crucial. What if the gift is wrapped?
Then you ask, what is it? But make sure you sound excited, not suspicious. Tone is key. Happy, curious, what is it?
Right, not a flat what is it, and then asking permission.
Can I open it? Mr. Considerate. Nice touch.
And that phrase, it always sounds slightly contradictory, but polite.
You really shouldn't have. Yeah, it's a classic line. Thank you, this is very generous, maybe too generous. Acknowledges their effort.
Kind of like, oh, wow, you went to trouble for me, followed by more direct thanks.
Sure, that's really nice of you, or I really appreciate it. The second one feels maybe a touch more formal or heartfelt.
Both good options. And if you genuinely love it...
This is great.
Yeah.
Make sure your voice goes up a bit at the end to show enthusiasm. This is great. Not this is great.
Big difference. So yeah, these phrases aren't just about saying you got something. They manage the whole social interaction, showing gratitude, acknowledging the giver. Makes everything smoother.
Definitely. Using these well makes you seem more gracious, builds rapport, just makes interactions more pleasant for everyone involved. Your voice sounds more appreciative.
All right, changing lanes again. Let's talk contractions. Essential for sounding natural in spoken English, right? Helps you keep up.
Oh, absolutely essential. They make speech flow. Let's start with the super casual ones like, don't know.
Short for don't know. You hear it all the time.
Yeah, mostly in speech, maybe very informal texts. Keeps things quick. Same with wanna for want to and gotta for got to.
Gotta meaning have to, basically. Like, I gotta go.
Exactly. Super common in conversation, but probably best to stick to the full forms want to, got to, have to in more formal writing or speaking. Context matters.
Good advice. Keep the audience in mind. Now, standard contractions like I've, he's, she's.
Right. I've is always I have, but he's and she's can be tricky. They can be he is, she is, or he has, she has.
How do you tell?
Look at the next word. If it's an adjective like funny, he's funny, it's probably he is. If a past participle like he's been busy, it's usually he has. Grammar gives you clues.
Okay, context is king, and I'd. That one's also got multiple personalities.
It does. I'd like coffee, or sometimes I had. I'd already eaten. Again, the rest of the sentence tells you which one fits. You just kind of get a feel for it.
Amazing how much work that little apostrophe does. Then the have contractions for past possibility.
Yeah, would've, could've, should've. Much smoother than saying would've, could've, should've every time in casual talk.
And the negatives too, right? Wouldn't have, couldn't have, shouldn't have.
Yep. They just roll off the tongue easier, help you respond faster, sound more natural.
And those request ones, give me.
Give me, very common when you're asking for things informally. Let me see. Give me that.
Quick and easy. And finally, it's same issue as he's and she's.
Exactly the same. It's cold or it's been raining. Got to check the context. Don't confuse it with it's without an apostrophe, which means belonging to it.
Right, the possessive it's. That's a whole other thing. So using contractions is key to fluency. Makes your English sound less, stiff, more like how people actually talk. Lets your voice blend right in.
Definitely. It's a huge part of sounding natural. Using them helps you focus more on what you're saying, not struggling with awkward phrasing. Makes the whole conversation flow better.
Okay, next up, emotions. Specifically, fear and surprise. We don't just say, I'm scared or wow, do we?
No, there's a whole palette of expressions. Helps you connect emotionally, makes your voice more, expressive. The simplest is probably just, you scared me.
Yeah, pretty direct. Someone jumps out at you, that's what you say.
But to amp it up, you scared the something out of me. That blank can be filled with different things, some more informal than others, But it means you were really startled.
Right, adds intensity. What about just feeling uneasy?
Then you might say, that really freaks me out, or that really creeped me out, or even, I was so sketched out.
Mm.
They're similar, but maybe slightly different vibes.
How so? What's the difference between, say, creepy and sketchy?
Hmm, good question. Freaks me out is strong, like a big nervous reaction, sometimes even used for extreme excitement, but here it's fear. Creep me out suggests something is weird, unsettling, makes your skin crawl, maybe.
Okay, unsettling and sketch at.
Sketched out often implies you feel nervous because something or someone seems potentially dangerous or unreliable. Like, that dark alley looks kind of sketchy.
Ah, okay. So creepy is unsettling, sketchy, hints at possible danger.
Got it. What about just blurting something out in shock?
Exclamations like, holy something. Again, that something varies wildly, or the very common, oh my God.
Or the slightly softer, oh my gosh. Right. They're just immediate verbal reactions to strong surprise or fear.
And sometimes just a simple what can convey shock, right? Especially if something unbelievable happens.
Totally. Just that flat, stunned, what? And if someone successfully surprises you, like a prank,
Then you might say,
you got me good.
Mm.
It's like admitting defeat. Okay, you really surprised me there. Acknowledges they succeeded.
ah, well played. So, yeah, lots of ways to show these feelings. From mild unease to total shock, using the right one makes your reaction clear and authentic.
And understanding them helps you read others' emotions too. It builds connection, makes communication deeper, more empathetic. Your voice reflects your real feelings.
So we've covered a ton today, from sharing ideas clearly to talking about bumps and bruises, handling gifts gracefully, making speech flow with contractions, and even expressing fear and surprise. It's all about those details that make everyday English work.
Exactly. It's about going beyond the basics to communicate effectively, naturally, and confidently. So your voice isn't just heard, but it has impact. All these things we talked about, word choice, contractions, tone, they matter.
They really do. They help you find your voice in English.
Mhm. So the final thought for you listening is really tune your ear to this stuff. Listen to how native speakers use these phrases naturally.
Yeah, maybe pick just one or two things from today, a phrase, a contraction, maybe a way to express surprise, and consciously try using it this week.
See how it feels, notice the context. You might find these small adjustments make a surprisingly big difference in how you connect with people and how confident you feel putting your own voice out there.